Alright, this is me voicing Congresswoman shot in Arizona. This past Saturday in Arizona, there was a grocery store near a Subway, and a man came in and started shooting. He shot actually 20 people. 6 died and 14 were injured. A woman that died, her name was Gabrielle Giffords. I'll call her Gabby for short. She was in her 40s. She was a congresswoman in the House of Representatives. She was a Democrat. The man came in and shot her in the head. It was really tragic. She didn't die immediately. They had to rush her off to the hospital. And then that morning, she had surgery and went through all these procedures. The doctor's opinions, they didn't know whether or not she was going to live. She might have had brain damage, but then she died. She actually was in the House of Representatives in 2006 and then won another term and then another third term. In 2007, she married a man named Andrew. The woman supported many different things in the government. The 6 people that died, one was 63, and he was a leader in the courts. Another one was named Gabriel Zimmerman. He was about in his 40s. Gabrielle Giffords had contact with a bunch of different people in Congress. Another person that died was about 76, and they were retired. His wife actually was there and got shot in the leg, but she was okay. She survived. He really enjoyed his retirement, cleaning, cooking, fishing. He didn't know what he was going to do with his retirement. He thought about actually preaching. There was tragically a 9-year-old girl that was in elementary school that died. She was really excited to get involved in student council. There were 2 others that died. And Phyllis Chuck was about 67. The gunman went to he was actually a college student. His name was Jared Lee Gunner. They thought they were looking for another man. They wouldn't comment much on the story. The man used a .22 to kill, and then he had to reload, and the cops grabbed him. The cops arrived and grabbed him when he was trying to reload his gun. Cops were really upset because, all the gossip and the rumors were going out. People were trying to get the stories, and they had to follow a lot of wrong leads. It was really awful. There were a lot of negative comments going back and forth, and a lot of the attention was put on Arizona. That's their opinion of, what happened in the grocery store. They were really upset and disgusted about it. Before there were a lot of laws, and comments about different laws in Arizona about who can come into the state. They didn't have to have any papers. Then there was a healthcare law. And there were a few people that, really liked that law and supported that law. And the congresswoman that was shot was one of them. Before they voted for the health care law, a lot of people, were stubborn and supported the law to vote. And then it got won. She also supported immigrants, people that come in from other countries, protecting the law, the rules. Gabrielle Giffords was doing an interview with MSNBC. And they showed her a clip of the shooting, and, she had to be really careful because she has a lot of responsibilities. She's a big influence as a congresswoman. So she just kind of put her head down and didn't really comment on stories like that. Something else that happened was, a guy had a gun concealed and it fell out and he got arrested. Things like that happen. There were different laws about the gun and the army, and the guy that did the shooting, Jared, had a bunch of different supporters for him. And let's talk about the judge's rule for a second in 2009. It was talking about who could enter a school or a restaurant, and the judge accepted permission for them to go in. A lot of the public was really worried about who could come in and kill. You took your wife places. This happened when President Bush was in the White House. After church that day, we went up and met friends, and different things happened, like shootings happened everywhere. Before the internet, not a lot of news spread, but because of the internet, it really gets around. People say they're going to pray for the family and different things like that. My husband himself, he bought a gun, and, he follows the laws. He bought a pistol, a Glock. He also has a knife that he carries with him, but he follows all the rules and he meets all the requirements. In 2008, they tried to vote to elect her to the Army, but she got turned down. There was really no reason for that. And then different things happened on Facebook. There's a lot of influence from outside people. It was really crazy. It forced the people to focus on that. The English language, people didn't know how to read, all these different reasons. They didn't trust the government. Then all these different reasons they would suspend their license. Then from 2005 to the fall of 2010, in October 4th, they accepted it and he resigned. He quit. The class in the library, it's illegal to go in with a gun. But before a woman came into my math class, oh my goodness, she was just running her mouth, and I just wanted her to stop talking. So that's what happened when the man went to college. but you must have to go and study psychology and get a certificate. That could be dangerous. So if you have any questions, you go to a psychologist. If you have seizures, you have a lot of medicine, you have all this records. If somebody would have stopped him and would have seen all of his medical records, then maybe this woman, Gabrielle Giffords, would still be alive. I don't know. We'll have to see while the story continues.